Hi, today we're at Brine Pit Farm in Worcestershire, not very far from Bromsgrove and just a few minutes off the M5 motorway. There's 3 hides here. There's one for Kingfishers down by the river. There's a Kestrel hide over that way. This is the Little L hide. Oh, very well built. In fact, there's 2 hides here now for Little L's. You can get 4 people in this hide and 4 people in the hide next door too. Now, I have been here before. In fact, I made a YouTube film on it, but it was a very wet day, heavy rain just about the whole time I was here. So I've come back for another go in much better weather conditions.
There's a number of suitable props in front of the hide, and you can move these about and bring them further forward or further backwards. The fence is the only one you can't move, and there's nothing to stop you from bringing your own props as well. This is the tree that the Little Owl has been nesting in for some years now. There wasn't any sign that it was feeding young on the nest this year. On my previous visit it was, so it was coming backwards and forwards a lot. Nevertheless, it was still coming down to the perches frequently. I quite liked it with these buttercups in the background. That was different to how it was the previous year too. Occasionally there was a flock of sheep that came into the background, so we had to get out the hide and push them away, else you get all these white furry blobs in the background. So everything is taken with the 150 to 400mm OM lens with the Mark II OM-1 body. Rooks also coming into the buttercups, and rooks occasionally disturbing the Little Owl. It wasn't being aggressive to the owl here, it just flew too close.
This clear view netting is brilliant stuff. You can see out very clearly all around the camera, so you know what's going on in front of you, but so long as it's dark inside the hide, the birds can't see in through it.
Difficult to use a tripod in the hide because there's quite a wide shelf in front of the apertures, but they do provide these mounts, or you need a tall beanbag.
While waiting for the Little Owl, there's 2 great spotted woodpeckers coming down, a male and a female, and they are flying backwards and forwards between the perches, looking for the mealworms that we've got out there. And it's given a very good opportunity for flight photography using the Pro Capture. So this is the OM-1 Mark II, and as I've said in previous YouTube films, the autofocus is marginally better than the Mark I, and I can see an improvement here in the success rate. And I'm pretty sure I've nailed a lot of successful flight shots today. I wonder what the next generation of autofocus cameras is going to give us. It's only got to go 1 notch up and you've pretty well got a 100% success rate on photographing birds in flight and getting them sharp. Then it just needs the next stage where the tripod head actually follows the bird as well. We've already got that technology. This camera that I'm filming myself on, the DJI Pocket 3, that will follow me. It's following my face now. As I move, the tripod head is swinging to follow me. Once we can do that with birds, then you just press the button and leave the camera to it. At what point are we all going to lose interest in photographing birds because it just becomes too automated?
The male great spotted woodpecker was a little bit on the tatty side and rather wet. Not so much that it was raining as the grass was wet. He's got one grub in his mouth, but it's not going to stop him going back and trying for some more.
It was good to get that great spotted woodpecker chipping away at that wood to get at the grub behind it. I'm maybe going to wish I'd done that in slow motion.
Fortunately, I didn't have to regret it because the female came in and did exactly the same thing. And this time I was filming in slow motion. Notice the bird is not well composed here, it's too low in the frame. But because we're going in slow motion, it takes me longer to react. I'm starting to lower the camera now. I love watching birds in slow motion. Whenever I meet another wildlife photographer these days, I very quickly turn the conversation over to video by asking them, "Are you shooting any video?" Usually the answer is no, or I'm thinking about it, or I'm just shooting a little bit. I try and encourage them to shoot video, and I always end the conversation by saying, if you do get into video, very quickly move into slow motion, because watching birds in slow motion is fabulous. I'm having to cut clips out here, else it would just go on too long. It stopped hammering at this point. More a gentle probe, but I'm getting the impression it knows there's something there, it just can't get at it, and maybe it's about there. So can it get to it from underneath? If we go in a bit closer, you can just about see the bird's tongue. As it withdraws there, you can see its tongue sticking out. It's a very long tongue, can be up to 40 millimeters or 4 centimeters beyond the tip of the bill. And now we're starting in a new spot. And having made a little hole, we poke the tongue in. Slow motion video allows us to see things that you just wouldn't normally be able to see. And I could watch footage like this all day long. This was something I had to Google. Do little owls catch moles? Well, the answer is yes, they do. Must be on the upper limit of what they can handle. And little owls will store food or cache it, so it will take it back to the tree and store it for future eating. It was struggling to carry it, so it flew up to the fence initially, where it's a little bit higher, and then attempted to fly up to the hole. Thanks for watching.